Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I will be reviewing the LEGO Architecture London set 21034, but first, let's build it. And here we have the completed build, and as you can see, it is like the other Skyline sets. We have 4 London monuments here, well 5 if you include 2 in the same place in Trafalgar Square, and we also have this little sailing boat going under Tower Bridge. So let's go from left to right explaining the monuments. So we start with Trafalgar Square, which includes the National Gallery behind Nelson's Column. This is, I think, marked on a map as the centre of London. It looks fairly accurate to real life, not the most accurate representation. I can see they've used these grille pieces as the bars or pillars on the front, really. They're not bars, they're pillars on the front of the National Gallery. And then for Nelson's Column, it's not really white. I'll show you in the instruction booklet later, and I'll probably put it on screen, but it's actually sort of a beigey stone colour, more like Big Ben and Tower Bridge, but it looks alright. And the lines on the base, which I presume are these pieces here, are actually black, so I think probably different colours would have been better for this, but it works well. Next we have Big Ben. And this is a really nice build, I think. It's basically a mini version of the creator set that came out last year in 2016. You can see the lawn here out the front, and you can see the clock tower here. It only has the clock on one side, sadly, but it is a printed piece, which is very nice to see there. You can see the time, and then you can see also one of the turrets or towers on top of the Houses of Parliament, and I think this build looks really good. It's not the best build though, I think, but it's one of the better ones, and I think it looks really good. Now behind Big Ben we have the London Eye, and this is not really my favourite build, but I think it still looks really good. It's got half of the pods that it should have, and I think this grey piece up here, the two grey pieces, take away a little bit. You can see at the bottom down there it's white, and it doesn't have any spokes, but I think it works well, and you can tell that it is the London Eye. You don't need anybody to tell you really if you have seen the London Eye. It does definitely look like it, but I don't know, it's not my favourite build really. It's missing the spokes, and it's only really got half the pods. I mean, for the scale it looks good enough, and I don't think anyone would notice that, but it only has 16, not 32 like it should have. But I think it still looks really nice, and yeah, I like it. And finally, onto my favourite build, Tower Bridge. Now, this bridge has a lifting mechanism in it. If I take this little sailing boat out, we can lower this, and you can see, if I get it right, there we go. You can see that it is lowered. It does. These holes do go all the way through the bridge. You can see there, through the bridge. So that is like real life, where the traffic goes through the archways and onto the raising bridges. So these lift so that the little boat can go through, or any boat that's basically too high to go through under a normal height bridge. They made this bridge so it had a lifting mechanism, and there you go, it does lift. You can see, I do like how they did the sort of suspension bridge pieces here. I think that worked well with these sort of rubberized pieces going up. And then also I quite like the walkways at the top. I think it looks quite well having the crest here as this sort of tooth piece with the gold stud on top. The tops of the towers and the top of Big Ben are the same piece, except this one has the extra grey cone piece on top. But yeah, this is my favourite build of the set. So here we have the instruction booklet, and if we go through you can see some pictures of the landmarks. There you can see Tower Bridge. I think that's probably from the Shard because it's quite far above, or a helicopter, either of the two. And there's some details about each of the landmarks. So there you can see the National Gallery and what that looks like. You can see the pillars there. That's from Trafalgar Square, one of the fountains, which is the blue circular pieces on Trafalgar Square there. Then you see Nelson's Column and Big Ben. You can see it there. So I presume it's like from, if you look at it from the front, it's from looking here, so you're looking that way towards it. So you see the face around the corner here that you can't see there, and then this green piece, like this bush here, is this green bit here. So yeah, that's quite interesting. I think that's the perspective that it's from. Next you have the London Eye. You can see it has spokes and more pods on it than actually on the model, but I do think it still looks quite well, and you can see they are fairly similar. And next we have Tower Bridge, and as you can see, I think it looks really good on the actual model to the real life version. You can see there what it looks like compared, and I think this one is probably my favourite out of the entire lineup here. Now my final thoughts. I think this set is really good for anybody who likes London. I think if you're not really bothered about architecture or London in general, then don't bother getting this. I recommend that you get the set for the city that you like the most that they have on offer, or just wait until the city that you want them to make a set of is available. So if you like Sydney, for example, then get the Sydney set, don't get this one. If you want to see minifigure scale, then there you go, that's scale to a minifigure. So it's not massive, but it's not tiny either, so it's quite a good scale, I think. I mean, it is a mini build, and it is quite hard to get loads of detail into a tiny build, but I think they've done it quite well. This piece here that says London on it, down the bottom left corner, that is a printed tile. There are no stickers in this set, so same with the Big Ben clock face. That is also a printed piece, which I think is really nice that they did printed pieces. I think all the architecture sets are printed pieces, and I forgot to mention the instruction book is higher quality than most instruction books from Lego. It's like the ideas sets. This is my first architecture set, and I really like the detail it's gone into to explain the models. You can see there's some detail in the top corner of the page. That's similar to the ideas sets. I believe that was in sort of information in the corners in the Back to the Future and TARDIS ideas sets. Those are the ideas sets I have. They have the same style instruction book, so I think it's a really nice set, and I really like it. If you want to tell me your thoughts on this set, put them in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed this, and if you like this set, subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more speed builds and reviews, and I will see you next time. Bye.